What's up, everyone? Welcome to another Nintendo Voice Chat podcast. I'm your host, Daemon Hatfield. With me is Craig Harris.
Hello, back from Germany.
Yeah, back from Germany. Welcome back.
Thank you.
Matt
Welcome back,
Gassensina and Mark Bozon are here. How are you, gentlemen? Oh, we've got 2 interviews coming up later on the show. You guys, we have a Conduit interview with High Voltage, right?
Yeah, which Bose and I did, we got to chat with those guys for close to half an hour, so you might want to grab some popcorn and sit back for that one.
And we have an interview with Strong Bad coming up later on as well.
Oh, you actually had a conversation with him when I was gone, huh?
Yeah, I know. Well, you were here, yeah. And this
He
is actually
requested that he do the interview when you were gone, Craig.
Yeah, he
Really?
Sorry. Yeah.
last time he didn't enjoy talking to you, I don't think. No.
Was he just like, oh, hey, how's it going, Damon? That's pretty cool.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
That's a pretty good impression.
Bozon actually is strong bad.
buy,
Didn't know that.
buy my game.
All right, that's all the questions we got. We're going to move into a couple interviews now. So we will be signing off, but our past versions of ourselves will be back in just a moment.
Dude, this is
I'm glad you're breaking that down.
it's like crazy sci-fi. Right.
So we have 2 of them, right? Strong Bad followed by High Voltage Software.
Yeah, that's right.
Cool. Enjoy.
Enjoy. All right, well, now we have a very special guest here. We have Strong Bad on the line. Strong Bad, thank you for taking time out of your busy game development schedule to talk with us today.
What? I was asleep. You woke me up. I'm busy sleeping.
Yeah, I know. So I know you're a busy guy. We're going to try not to take too much of your time. We just had a few questions about the second episode of your game, Strong Bad's Cool Game for Attractive People. The first one already came out, got rave reviews. I'm sure you're pleased with that.
Of course.
Has your life changed at all now? I mean, you're kind of like a huge celebrity now. You were already a celebrity, but now, you're kind of like the super celebrity status, right?
Yeah, except I did notice that the video game hasn't increased the amount of hot chicks that come my way.
Oh, really?
That pretty much stayed even. I don't think video games are on their radar so much.
Well, you probably had more hot chicks than you could handle already, right?
It's true.
You don't want to overexert yourself.
Exactly. A guy like me, I gotta pick my battles, you know?
All right, let's talk about episode 2. So what are the goals of the new game?
Like to let you gamer types take a tiny walk in my shoes to get a little taste of what it's like to walk a mile in Strong Bad shoes. But to tell you the truth, my shoes they don't smell very good or taste very good after walking a mile in them, as my little brother can attest, because I like to shove them in his mouth when I come back from walking a mile. He's not too psyched about the taste.
So this will be another point-and-click game, so it should control very similarly to the first, right?
Yeah, well, I like to call it point and mash, because, like with all video games, you mash buttons on the controller, so it's a new kind. It's not just point-and-click adventure game, it's a point-and-mash adventure game, which I think has a much better ring to it.
So how long will the adventure be?
I'm not sure, but when they sent me a copy of the game, to play on my lappy, it came on 8 3.5-inch floppy disks and like 22 5.25-inch discs. So depending on how old school you are, if you're sort of old school, the game is 28 inches long, and then if you're really old school, you put all the 5.25 side by side, then it's 115.5 inches long. It's pretty long,
I know, right? So episode 2 will be available this month, September, right?
It better be.
Can you give us the gist of the story this time?
Well, this one's all about me finally usurping the King of Town's greasy fried steak-stained rule over free country USA. And I either usurp him or underthrow him. One of those revolutionary styles. I can't remember.
Now, this is an episodic series. How many episodes are in the first, the Game for Attractive People?
How many episodes?
Mm-hmm.
You woke me up at 5 o'clock in the afternoon to ask me how many episodes, I could tell you the word 5.
You should talk to your publicist. Some of these questions, I think they inserted in here.
You are a Pulitzer Prize-winning journalist, my friend. I'll tell you that.
You're not the first person to tell me that. Who else from the Free Country USA will be in these games?
Man, everybody freaking squeezled their way into the game. And, I turn around and all of a sudden, all the guys are in the game. And I wanted this to be like my solo album, where I'm the last beefy space marine on a deserted moon base, fighting my way through a bunch of other beefy last space marines.
That sounds awesome.
Yeah, exactly. That's the game of the year right there. I got gotta write that down and tell Telltale to get to work.
Who do you think's better at making games, Telltale or Vidalectrics?
That's kind of a sensitive question. I think they each have different fortes, in fact, Vidalectrics doesn't even have a forte. They've got a 5-tay. And their 5-tay is all about the blocky, stocky stuff. And then Telltale likes the walkie-talkie stuff.
So you're going to be answering new fan emails in the next episode?
Well, we wished we could answer real fan mails in the episodes, but the grammar and spelling were so bad that we had to change the names to protect the innocent. Like your 7th grade English teacher will probably come arrest you if we put your real name in the game with that kind of spelling and grammar.
Well, the first episode 1 had a super secret forbidden mode. Will episode 2 have something like that as well?
Or super secret forbidden mode that's what I call it when I play video games on the couch in nothing but a towel fresh from the shower. I encourage everybody to play the game in super secret forbidden mode.
Would you say that for most people, playing your games will help their chances with the ladies?
Playing video games to help them with the ladies. Do you think that only hanging out with your dude friends, drinking cold ones, and watching Ultimate Fighting will make your wife and 3 kids happy? That's a really good question, man. No.
When you play the game, do you wear your boxing gloves?
Well, we knew, as always, a bunch of people will be asking, how do you play the game with boxing gloves on? So that's why we went with the point and mash gameplay, because, that way we shut everybody up, because there's no question if you're just pointing and mashing, even morons everywhere in their parents' basements can point and mash wearing boxing gloves, playing the game by themselves.
Now, you obviously have your pulse on the video game industry. What publications do you read to keep abreast of all the latest gaming news?
I have my pulse on it? Like you mean my heart is like a video game? Like I'm a cyborg? Dude, if you want to start a rumor that I'm a cyborg, you are welcome to it. You should blog about that all day. Strongbat's pulse is a video game pulse. He's a cyborg. Headlines.
Well, you've previously existed mostly in 2D, but in the game you're presented in 3D. Was it hard making that transition?
Yeah, of course. Jumping to floating platforms is impossible now. It used to just be jump right or leap to the left. Now there's all this depth in the way, and I keep falling off. As far as I'm concerned, the only good depth is depth charges, which I hope they put into this game.
You like to sing. You have a great voice, and you have a song in the first game. Do you do any vocal warm-ups to prepare for these numbers?
Vocal warm-ups? I thought we were talking about video games. Hey, let me ask you an equally unrelated question. To what PSI do you inflate your tires?
I see your point. So obviously your game is chock full of bump mapping and normal mapping. Are there any other types of mapping you are not able to incorporate in the games?
Yes. Rump mapping. My butt is extremely important in this game, and Telltale, they couldn't even get it right. My game butt looks way worse than my real-life butt. They tried. They had to rent a NASA computer to try and calculate all the mass in my butt, and that couldn't even do it, so they had to nix it from the game.
Now, you've been very vocal about the fact that you were not a fan of Snake Boxer 4. What specifically was it you didn't care for about that game?
No, you mean Snake Boxer 4, Lady Snake Parade? Look, man, the only reason that game sold at all was because they drew a bunch of hot snakes on the cover, so people were like, oh, I get to play a bunch of hot snakes, But then once you turned the game on, you were only sort of attracted to the jaggedy blue rectangle that was jaggling across the screen. Though that being said, the pink jaggedy rectangles were pure hotness.
Your abs are really impressive in the game. Obviously, you've been taking care of yourself. Have you been using Wii Fit?
Yeah, I've been using Wii Fit for the same thing every other guy in the world is using it for, to trick their girlfriends into playing video games. Thanks, Nintendo.
Now, will your future titles be using Wii Motion Plus technology? Nintendo just announced this at their E3 press conference.
Oh, man, I hope so. Can you imagine one-to-one wedgies or one-to-one bird flipping or one-to-one one-to-oneing? I mean, that's if video games from the future went back to the past to change the outcome of the future so their video games would be even cooler. That's that technology. Wrap your brains around that one.
Maybe give him a moment to process that. Strongbad, thanks for taking time to talk with us today. We love the first game and can't wait to play the second one.
Thanks a lot. I'm going to pass out now.
All right.